stop.
I mean...
Because I'm just trying to avoid the disgusting news we have to have.
Yeah, we got a lot of disgusting news. It really is
ridiculous. Okay.
Hey, welcome everybody to Cowboy Logic. Let me be the first to welcome you. And was last week's show not amazing?
It was. It really was.
My gosh. I promise you,
and I was crying.
We had no idea what Kelly and Kenny were doing.
No.
No idea at all. And all of them, Jeff and Dan and Jess and Pete. And
we love you guys.
We had no idea.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
So we are recording this on a rather historic day. This was the 250th anniversary of Paul Revere's ride. So I think we should have, it should be amended to say, one if by land, two if by D.C. Because that is exactly what's happening now with this out of control Supreme Court at 1 a.m. in the morning. I mean, almost to the hour that Paul Revere was doing his ride.
What did you say earlier? A judicial insurrection.
It is. It is a judicial insurrection. Now they're saying, well, it's temporary. But these MS-13 gang members have to have their due process. Later on, we're going to be talking to J6er Mark Ibrahim, and he actually said he was totally not allowed due process, as many of the J6ers are saying. But you know, this is they're in CYA mode. They are totally out of control. And so this brings us to the weekly Mike Benz lesson on civics.
We're a nation of secrets. We are an empire built on secrets that have to be kept from the American people, because if the American people find out, then our foreign adversaries or foreign governments find out. And so in order to maintain the empire that we have acquired through subterfuge and covert action, we need to not just keep our enemies and neutrals disinformed or uninformed, we need to keep the American people as well, so that they don't talk about it or it's not reported in our press, because everybody else in the world reads our press. And so this started in 1948 when World War II ended, and we were setting up this new world order, the rules-based liberal international order with the UN, with NATO, with the World Bank, with the IMF, the international finance system. And under the UN Declaration on Human Rights, it barred military accession of territory. So everything had to move towards elections, and everything had to move towards hearts and minds work to influence the millions of people who live in each country, so that you can take it over in the form of political vassalage rather than military control. So that's why the CIA was set up under the 1947 Act. It's a State Department function. There was a lot of talk at the time in the State Department about how to structure this CIA function. And the CIA was doing all this sort of dirty work in terms of political meddling and funding institutions, funding charities, funding unions, funding media organizations. They got in a lot of trouble in the 60s and 70s. USAID was created in 61. So while CIA was a plausible deniability layer for the State Department, USAID was a plausible deniability layer for the CIA. That spandreled out. In 1983, the National Endowment for Democracy was created, which was a plausible deniability layer for USAID. And so all of these touch every institution in society.
This is really scary stuff. This is really scary stuff. So far, Doge has saved about $150 billion. Of course, if we didn't send $300 billion to Ukraine, we'd be that much better off. But the problem is, the deep state is protecting itself. And of course, our viewers know that. But there's so many people out there that don't. They have no idea what's really going on. All they do is know that it costs $7 for a dozen eggs, and they want to know why. But suddenly SCOTUS is putting itself right up there with the president. And I don't see, any of them getting 77 million votes. I just don't. But, I digress. Stephen Miller talks about citizenship and the voter rolls in Arizona, because what we just talked about with Mike Benz was basically how they had to target elections. So check this out.
Democrats want illegal aliens to vote. It's why Joe Biden and his administration gave millions, we verified this now, millions with an M, of illegal aliens Social Security numbers. And once you have a Social Security number, it is incredibly easy to vote, to collect welfare, to get free government benefits, to participate in every aspect of American life. This isn't a mystery. They want illegals to steal elections, Sean.
And they're money laundering through real estate. Tish James being the latest. How ironic is this? This guy named Sam Antar is the one who did a forensic investigation into Letitia James's mortgage fraud. It took him 7 months. Supposedly, she has 2 houses in Virginia that she closed on before she started targeting Donald Trump in New York City, which means she's not allowed to be the AG of New York City. She is not qualified because she didn't own a house in New York City. But then again, she did. She has a 5-unit building in Brooklyn where you're only allowed to have 4 units. So that is mortgage fraud as well. So we'll see what happens with that. But Liz Harris in Arizona was the main person. She's a real estate agent in as well as very active in the GOP. She put together a ton of stuff talking about how they money launder through real estate. And this is continuing. It's happened in Arizona. It's happening all over the country. I mean, you've got, we've talked about it before, all of the millions in real estate that major lawmakers have and how they're suddenly worth tens of millions of dollars. So let's look at how they win elections or they steal elections. This is huge. This is 51 seconds of a person admitting that Meta/Facebook basically threw the election.
My name is Sarah Wynne-Williams, and I served as the Director of Global Public Policy at Facebook, now Meta, for nearly 7 years, starting in 2011. Throughout those 7 years, I saw Meta executives repeatedly undermine U.S. national security and betray American values. They did these things in secret to win favor with Beijing and build an $18 billion business in China. We are engaged in a high-stakes AI arms race against China. And during my time at Meta, company executives lied about what they were doing with the Chinese Communist Party to employees, shareholders, Congress, and the American public.
We knew this all along. Now they're admitting it.
For all those of you that say that I don't let Donna talk, rewind this.
Sorry.
So I want to say something about all this. You know, many of us are sitting back with a lot of hope that on the surface, it may not appear that anything's going on with this new administration, as well as the House and the Senate. It's getting very difficult, lawmakers, to stand in your corner. It's very difficult, Pam Bondi, to continue standing in your corner. Cash, it's very difficult to continue standing in your corner. Dan Bongino, it's starting to get very difficult to stand in your corner. But we still are. We still believe that we're going to start seeing exactly what the mandate was that the American people overwhelmingly gave President Trump. But you've got J6 community that's starting to lose faith. And these individuals, along with every one of our beloved viewers, was the backbone of that mandate that took place in November. So I'm asking you guys, lawmakers, administration, don't let us down. We keep hearing about all of the millions and trillions of dollars that Doge is finding.
Yeah.
Where are the people that were causing this problem? Where is the Judiciary Committee, Jordan? When will we start seeing action and stop hearing words? And I thank you and all you people that send little snotty emails to me
I
for
let
letting
him
me
talk.
do that rant. We'll be right back.
Introducing the Ungun, the non-lethal self-defense platform. Lightweight and simple to use. It uses an easy-to-load 5-round magazine and is powered by an 8-gram CO2 cartridge. Byrna launchers fire a 68 caliber chemical-filled projectile using a patented pull-pierce technology where the CO2 canister is only punctured on the first trigger pull, meaning your launcher is always at the ready. It's capable of incapacitating an attacker for over 30 minutes and is accurate and effective at over 60 feet. It requires no permits, no background checks, and is interstate travel friendly. With Byrna, you will be prepared to defend.
There's nothing worse than losing your dog before their time.
That's why I created Dr. Marty Nature's Blend, designed to help dogs with everything from digestive issues to itching, even moving better.
Nature's Blend works because it's freeze-dried. So instead of destroying the nutrients with high heat, they all get right into your dog's body.
Take it from a veterinarian with over 50 years of experience saving dogs' lives. I have never seen a food make this much impact on a dog's health.
For a limited time, get up to 54% off Dr. Marty Nature's Blend, plus a free gift with our special TV offer. Call or go to drmartypets.com/TV.
Hey guys, you got carpet stains like this? Well, you need Horsepower Bull Shot, the all-new carpet stain remover and deodorizer. Just spray, and the stain and the odor goes away. Why bend over and scrub? That's back-breaking work. Stand up to stains and odors and let Bullshot do the hard work of carpet and upholstery cleaning for you. You love your pets, but when Fido has an accident, you better have Bullshot. This black light shows every drop of that urine stain, but Bullshot quickly eliminates that stain. The secret is an advanced foam action formula that penetrates deep to emulsify and neutralize stains and odors, lifting them from the fiber with a formula safe for kids and pets. And it's made in the USA. Ever accidentally spill red wine on your carpet? I can shoot from the hip with pinpoint accuracy. Bullshot is like spraying an eraser on your floor. That stain is gone for good. For older and tougher stains, just give it a little rub and watch as Bullshot works its magic. Just point and shoot. It instantly and easily erases these blood stains, makeup, fruit juice, coffee, and more. This sticky juice stain is deep into this couch. Bullshot, it gets right down into those crevices and has the couch looking like new again. Still skeptical? Watch this. I'm staining this carpet with burnt bacon grease. We've got a 4K Ultra HD camera capturing the action up close. This stain is obliterated, all without bending or scrubbing. To have a stain professionally removed, you could spend hundreds. Or you could get Horsepower Bullshot, the no-nonsense stain remover for only $19.99. Bullshot comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not completely satisfied, send it back for a full refund, even if the can is empty. But wait, due to rising costs, this may be your last chance to get yours. And there's a strict limit of 3 at this low, low price. So don't wait. Order your Bullshot now.
To order, call 1-800-691-9531 or visit buybullshot.com. So call 1-800-691-9531 or visit buybullshot.com. Order now.
Do you suffer in pain? Are you stiff, tense, or less active? Introducing the Easy Well Remedy Massage System, a triple fusion of therapeutic experiences. Full body vibrational therapy increases blood circulation and reduces inflammation. Infrared heat penetrates deep to reduce pain, soothe, and relax. The Ultra Shiatsu pillow with 6 heated nodes mimics a professional massage. Plus, it's detachable for deep relief anywhere you need it. Experience the true remedy for your pain and stiffness. Call now.
So slowly into heart of me who need more than they get. Like is already to a world who has played too many bets. The mirror stares you in the face and says, baby, in the way. You say your friends, no, you don't care. You dance and shake your head. My back dreams to boogie wonderland. I promise we are supposed to dance in boogie wonderland. I promise we are supposed to dance in boogie wonderland. You say your friends love you.
songs are amazing.
Yeah.
Bill McClintock mashups.
Oh, you guys got to go to YouTube and follow him and check out them all. He's got a ton of them there. And that one was with our boys from Earth, Wind, and Fire.
And
That's
Kiss.
a client of mine.
Oh, really?
And Kiss, who's never been a client of mine.
It's unbelievable. Well, you wouldn't even know if they were a client because of the makeup. You know, you'd never recognize them.
True.
But Bill McClintock mashups, they are amazing. You know what's also amazing? We're finally getting some truth, health-wise, from our government. You got to love RFK Jr., too. But Dr. Brian Ardis, Dr. Stella, Dr. Lee Merritt, all of which have been on our show, America's Frontline Doctors, have all talked about how tumors are actually parasitic eggs and clumps of bacteria.
Which is exactly why for, 4 years, 5 years, we've been saying ivermectin, we've been saying hydroxychloroquine,
Fenbendazole,
and fenbendazole,
chlorine dioxide.
Yep.
All that stuff.
Go ahead, Donna. Didn't mean to startle you. I scared you, didn't I?
But it actually works, and because it eliminates the parasites. So we can't really have that if you're the American Cancer Society, because then you're going to be putting yourself out of business. Well, RFK Jr. also is talking about Dr. Anthony Fauci and the fact that during COVID, the real problem might have been remdesivir.
You want to treat them at home. Give them the things that we know kill viral replication. Zinc and anything that enhances zinc, like hydroxychloroquine, ivermectin, and 100 other remedies that we now know dramatically reduce the spread of this disease. And what was our protocol? Our protocol was to do none of that. No treatment until you go to the hospital. And then your treatment are two things that are bound to kill you: ventilators and remdesivir. And Tony Fauci knew that remdesivir would kill you. He knew that because in 2019, he tried to use it for Ebola. 2019, he tried to use it for Ebola, and within 5 days of treatment, it gave lethal side effect to 54% of the people, and the Safety Monitoring Board ordered him to terminate the use of that drug. And he, through a phony, contrived, absolutely fraudulent study that he manipulated and orchestrated, got that drug made standard of care. It is homicide. And if you look, how does it kill people? 2 ways, 3 ways: kidney failure, heart failure, and all organ collapse. And what happened to the people who died in the pandemic? What were they dying of? Kidney failure. All the doctors said, you heard it again and again, we've never seen a virus that attacks the kidneys. Because it wasn't the virus. It was the remdesivir.
All right.
Amen.
Time for me to get on a soapbox again, y'all. We were talking about this. It got us banned from YouTube. It got us banned from social media. Twitter kicked us off because we were talking about this, and we're bringing the receipts to this. October, I think it was 3rd of 2021. We were talking about this very subject on Cowboy Logic. It shuts down your kidneys. You end up drowning in your own fluids. This was happening. It was happening to friends of ours. And we were, as Jeff McKellop says, sending out messages in a bottle all over the place. And what happened? We get canceled. Mm-hmm. Thank God for Real America's Voice and bringing us onto this platform and letting us say exactly what we want to say. Because back in October of 2021, we had our beloved Dr. X-Ray on that's going to echo exactly what RFK just said.
Well, Fauci has been involved with remdesivir for, many years. It first went out as an emergency use drug in Africa treating Ebola patients. And this was one that Fauci was key in inventing, developing, and bringing to market and taking to Africa to use in Ebola patients. And halfway through the trial, they had to stop the study because more of the patients were dying from the remdesivir than were dying from Ebola. Now, think about that for a second, because that's a very powerful statement. This drug is more dangerous than Ebola, and they had to stop the trial. And when they've been trying it here in the United States with the COVID, it really depends on who funds the study that you look at. There are 3 or 4 studies that were funded by NIH, which of course is Fauci's organization, and they say, oh yeah, remdesivir does a good job and it's safe and effective in this thing. But other studies that were not funded by NIH took a look at it. For example, the VA, who usually does very solid research, by the way, looked and said that 30 to 40% of the patients had serious side effects, one of the most serious ones being renal failure. It prolonged, not shortened, the course of hospitalization in COVID-19, and it was a no benefit. So the VA hospitals wanted to stop giving it. I don't know if they have, because that's the mandatory CDC criteria. You come to the hospital, you get remdesivir, your lungs fill up with fluid, they put you on a ventilator, and the hospital makes lots of money for selling the remdesivir and for putting you on the ventilator, and that's the treatment for COVID.
It shuts down your kidneys. You essentially can't excrete any water. Your body retains that water. You end up in your lungs. You get double pneumonia and you essentially drown. And what even was the insult to injury in Presley's case, and I'm not even sure if our other friend, who I believe died from remdesivir as well, was the fact that we couldn't find any doctors to do autopsies, because even the doctors are afraid of the CDC and Anthony Fauci and everything else. Because God forbid, if they find that it could have been the remdesivir and not COVID, that kind of turns everything upside down. Perhaps people will start to question the fact that maybe we didn't have 600,000 or 700,000 deaths from COVID. We had it from the treatment. And a lot of people obviously might have even had the flu that was mixed in there. And that's what's so disconcerting. They still continue to lie to us.
Yeah, they do. October 3rd of 2021, Dr. X-Ray was so far ahead of the curve, yep. And all that happened is that we got banned.
Yep.
And again, Rob Sigg and everybody at Real America's Voice, thank you for trusting us and giving us that platform. Thank you.
I referred to our good friend Presley Stutz, South Carolina GOP, that died just from that. I was on the phone with Presley Jr., Tracy Beans, trying to get him to have some ivermectin. The hospital wouldn't give it to him. His doctor said, if I give him the ivermectin, I'm going to lose my license. Remdesivir essentially is a form of euthanasia. And if you are looking, folks, there is another word for it, a scientific name for it. It's Veklury. It's the same thing. Look it up. Make sure you put, if God forbid you have to go to the hospital, you put do not get Veklury or remdesivir on the paperwork that you sign, or else they could give it to you if they find you have a problem.
We know that these people were given the vaccines inside of surgical openings.
Yep. COVID.gov is out there now. It just got launched. COVID.gov to find all this information finally. And just like everything with the Jan Sixers, with Gretchen Whitmer, with COVID, 5 years later, it's oops, sorry you're dead. And now you've taken a vaccine. We have no idea how much longer that's going to last. And in UNC, they're still doing gain of function.
I need 10 seconds. Fauci's been pardoned for everything under the sun. Figure out a way to hold these people accountable, Trump administration. Figure out a way to hold them accountable. We'll be right back.
Blackfoot out of home. Cowboys didn't dance, didn't wear designer shirts. Their hearts were filled with memories, their bodies filled with hurt. They would.
Hey everybody, Don Neuen with Cowboy Logic here. Talk about our newest sponsor, Nemo Arms. NemoArms.com. Trot over to that website and check it out. You're going to be blown away at the quality and craftsmanship behind these fine weapons. It's the only weapons company Cowboy Logic endorses. Nemo Arms at NemoArms.com. You want a 223-556 AR platform? NemoArms.com. You want to bump it up a little bit, go to a 300 blackout? NemoArms.com. You want to get one of them big boys? How about a 300 Win Mag that won't take your shoulder off because they have fine-tuned the recoil problem? NemoArms.com. We got lightweight models. We got the big stout 458s. These are huge. Hey, Nemo Arms, NemoArms.com. They've also got a beautiful selection of shotguns over and under. Nemo Arms, NemoArms.com. Go check them out.
Don't you hate that dirty old hose? It kinks, splits, and it always leaks. And it's way too heavy to carry around. It's time to get the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead. Just turn on the water and watch it grow to a full-size hose. It stretches and expands like a rubber band. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the new Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees. Just connect to the spigot and watch it pivot. And when you turn off the water, away it goes, shrinking back to a pocket-size hose. And it makes it easy to carry and put away. Copperhead. It's the hose that grows and pivots, flexes, and sprays. It puts itself away for another day. The Pocket Hose is so unique and so innovative, it was awarded over 100 patents. Call or go online now to get the super light 25-foot Pocket Hose Copperhead today for only $39.99. But wait, order right now and you'll receive an instant $10 discount. So it's only $29.99. And it gets better. Order right now and get our copper spray nozzle with our exclusive thumb drive free. Simply use your thumb to turn it on or off. And with 10 unique patterns, you'll have a setting for every job. A $30 value. Yours free with every 50-foot Copperhead. Plus, Copperhead comes with a full 10-year warranty. It's that durable. That means you can order right now with total confidence. But this special offer is not available in stores or on Amazon. So order right here, right now. And with rising costs, this may be your last chance at this low price. There is a strict limit of 3 per order. So don't wait. Order now.
To order, call 1-800-957-6191 or visit getcopperhead.com. So call 1-800-957-6191 or visit getcopperhead.com. Order now.
Are you having trouble hearing your TV or listening to conversations in loud spaces? Then it might be time to consider Nano hearing aids. The days of expensive hearing aids are over. Nanos are FDA-registered OTC hearing aids. They are powerful, lightweight, and simple to use, and their tiny in-ear design makes them nearly invisible. Plus, they are rechargeable, saving you hundreds of dollars on batteries. Don't be fooled by overpriced hearing aids. Prescription hearing aids could cost $3,000 or more. Nano hearing aids are only $397. But wait, we are so confident you are going to love your Nanos, we are offering $100 off through this special TV offer. Call now and get 2 CIC rechargeable hearing aids for only $297. You get a free portable charging case, free 24/7 lifetime telephone support, free shipping, and a 45-day money-back guarantee.
Call 800-226-2107. That's 800-226-2107.
The FBI is entering a new era, one that will be defined by integrity, accountability, and the unwavering pursuit of justice. There will be no cover-ups, no missing documents, and no stone left unturned. And anyone from the prior or current bureau who undermines this will be swiftly pursued. If there are gaps, we will find them. If records have been hidden, we will uncover them. And we will bring everything we find to the DOJ to be fully assessed and transparently disseminated to the American people, as it should be. The oath we take is to the Constitution, and under my leadership, that promise will be upheld without compromise.
Oh,
Cowboy Logic with Mark Ibrahim. We're going to focus on J6 for the next couple of segments because Mark's J6 story is quite unique. So, Ron, let's bring him on. There's Mark. Hey.
Oh, we got a hat act.
And another hat.
Got
There you
another
go.
hat act in the house.
And a beautiful rifle over your shoulder there, too. A Henry repeating arms. Got to love it. But your situation, Mark, is quite different than most people because you, on January 6th, were an active DEA agent. And you went there with your brother, who is and was and still is an active FBI agent. So tell us a little bit about your J6 story because, again, it's quite unique. And not only the fact that you're able to carry a gun legally at that point as well, not that that played anything into what happened, but the whole background story is it's just different than most J6 stories.
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, I wasn't even really going to go to J6. I mean, I love President Donald Trump and very thankful God put him in power. But this story starts back in Iraq a couple years ago. I was an FBI informant out there finding ISIS cells inside the United States and inside in Iraq. And I met an FBI informant. His name was Jorge Calzadilla, who was there and then came back and started working like militia, white supremacy stuff for the FBI. So he was at the Clive and Bundy standoff. He was at a bunch of militia stuff. And he asked me to bring him to the J6 rally. And I said, you know what, me and you were in Iraq together. We've been in a couple firefights together. Sure, I trust you like a brother. So my brother, my actual blood brother, is an FBI agent, Michael Ibrahim, and he was there. So it was me, a credentialed DEA special agent, my brother, a credentialed FBI special agent, and an FBI informant. And I asked him, I said, are you working to the FBI informant? And he said, yes. I said, show me the text from your handler. And he showed me and it said, be safe and collect as much information as you can. And I said, okay. I didn't think it was going to be a psyops, honey trap thing. And honestly, I was there, proud to be there, proud to support Donald Trump, but also there for the safety of everyone else. I was armed, as was my brother, and we're law-abiding citizens and have clearances and have went through extensive background checks and allowed as federal agents to carry our guns on federal property. So we got there, and the FBI informant, Jorge, turns to me and says, hey, I'm going to go in the building. I said, if you go in the building, I'm going to arrest you or leave you. I'm not going to be an accomplice to you breaking the law. It's like you drive a friend to the bank and they say, I'm going to rob it. Just wait here real quick. I said, no. So he got real pissed off at me that he couldn't go in the building. He said he couldn't make money and he couldn't do what he was there to do that day. I didn't know those things. I didn't know that the FBI at that time had ulterior motives. And so he got upset and sold the story to Reuters about a gun-toting DEA agent in the crowd. Left out my brother, of course. Reuters ran the story, and I went on Tucker Carlson saying it's messed up. I lost my job. I never did anything criminal that day whatsoever, and never thought I'd be facing any type of prosecution. And so he stole the story to Reuters for around $100,000, I'd assume. And I got fired from the DEA. And I went on Tucker in like a couple months. And the DOJ, the FBI, and the DEA knew I was there the day after. And they said, you're good as long as you didn't break the law. But it was only after that Reuters story ran out and I went on Tucker Carlson, I spoke up. And I said, hey, there were active FBI agents in the crowd. My brother was texting them. We walked up to the FBI SWAT team, a lot of them which were at my DEA graduation from the academy. I knew them because I trained with them prior to me becoming a special agent, and this FBI informant. And so DOJ came down extra hard, put a gag order on me, threatened me with 16 years in prison, and completely just disregarded the law and had a double standard. You know, my judge compared me carrying a handgun to a guy carrying a hand grenade, and it was a strict liability crime. There was no mens rea or no intent behind it, me being a federal agent. I didn't unholster my weapon. I never went in that building. If anything, all I did was offer assistance to law enforcement that day. My brother wasn't indicted. My brother didn't get a plea deal. My brother didn't get anything. And out of all the DOJ documents they pushed, they blacked out my brother's face. And it was just a double treatment. They didn't want to show the FBI was involved in J6 at all. They blacked out his face. My brother actually went on to go investigate J6ers after being at J6. And meanwhile, I lost my clearance. I was fired. I lost my livelihood. The liberal media tore me through said a bunch of lies. I was charged with a false statement, which is the judge dismissed prior to my, Donald Trump's executive order, which my case was dismissed with prejudice. So I was never convicted, thank God. And actually that lever action, I went and bought right after I was pardoned just to make sure I could own guns. And so it's kind of like my victory piece.
All right, Mark, let me ask you this. We got about 3 minutes left in this segment. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're sitting there with your jaw on the ground, you're not alone. This is an amazing story. Mark, do you have any idea what the instructions were for the FBI informant that was with you from his handler? Now, you said obviously go into the building, but was he what else was he supposed to do? And do you have any idea how much he was paid?
I don't. I know that he was paid, and I know that he wasn't prosecuted, and I know that all those photos of me were taken that day, and he was asking me to take those photos. He goes, "Let me see your gun, and let me see your badge, and let me see this, and let me see that." And I was like, "That's weird, but okay." I'm a federal agent. We're allowed to open carry. We're allowed to conceal carry. It's not illegal to show your badge and gun. So, and I was with my brother, who was a credentialed FBI agent, and that's when, I appealed this all the way to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court wouldn't hear it. But thank God it bought me my time. It bought me some time, and I fought this for 3 years, and I'm like well over $300,000 in attorney fees, and haven't been able to work. So, but God is good, and He delivers us. I mean, Pastor Rob McCoy saved my life. He's a pastor in Thousand Oaks, California at Godspeed Calvary Chapel. He kept his church open during COVID and fought Governor Newsom. And he met me, and he saw that the devil was fighting me pretty hard to take my life, and life was just really, really sad and gloom. And he preached into me, preached the gospel into me, kept me alive. And I owe my life to this day. And I'm just thankful to the Lord that He sent Pastor Rob into my life, and then that God ultimately delivered me, and I'm not a felon.
This to me is amazing. You had no idea how many other FBI agents were there. Did your brother or this informant talk about that at all, number-wise?
Yeah, my brother was texting a lot of the FBI agents, some SSAs that were in the crowd, and we walked up to the FBI SWAT team. And what people don't understand is if you're going to mobilize the FBI SWAT team, what's the ground intelligence that you have to mobilize? Like, they have a tactical Bearcat. These guys are all kitted out. They're all on payroll. I mean, they have to have an ops plan. Like, this is not something they just hop in your truck and roll out. They had this plan for quite some time, and there was a lot of intel feeding it. I mean, there's just a lot of weird stories. Like, there's some Navy SEAL that was saying go in the building, that went in the building, and he gets no charges. You can see that there's a different of treatment, whereas I offered assistance to the FBI, but because I spoke up on Tucker, they come down with the full.
It's the total double standard. The total double standard. Okay, we got to go to the break here, but
ladies and gentlemen,
this is insane.
Go to the Give, Send, Go. Go to the Give, Send, Go. We're going to have that crawling across the top of the screen the whole next segment with Mark. Just like all the other J6ers, he's had his life ruined, and he's now trying to rebuild. You can be a part of it. We're going to be right back with Cowboy Live.
Cowboying is in our blood. Cowboying is in our bruises, in our calloused hands tested by barbed wire and rope. It's in our rain-soaked jackets, our mud-stained boots to the crown of our resist-all hat. We don't forget that because we live it every day. We make our Resistol hats the same way we've done since 1927. You live out west for even the shortest time, and there's one thing you learn. You can't pretend out here. Resistol. We live it every day.
Hello, this is Mike Huckabee. President Trump said he wants to take back the White House and teach our kids to love our country. That's why my team created a Kids Guide to President Trump. It'll teach your kids all about President Trump's accomplishments and his vision for America. And right now, I want to give it to you for free as part of this free gift bundle.
Order your free Kids Guide to President Trump, get a free bonus guide, and a free membership to AMAC featuring dozens of money-saving benefits at kidsneedtrump.com. That's kidsneedtrump.com.
There's nothing worse than losing your dog before their time. So why do so many dog foods contain awful things a human would never eat? To save his pets, world-famous veterinarian Dr. Marty knew he had to change what was in their bowl.
That's why I created Dr. Marty Nature's Blend, my breakthrough formula that's changed everything about dog food.
Nature's Blend contains nothing but all-natural ingredients designed to help dogs with everything from digestive issues to itching and paw licking, even moving around better. And that's because Nature's Blend is freeze-dried. So instead of destroying the nutrients with high heat, we gently preserve them, and you'll see the difference in your dog.
Take it from a veterinarian with over 50 years of experience saving dogs' lives. I have never seen a food make this much impact on a dog's health.
Such a huge difference in her health. More energy, more playful, no more pooping issues. He's healthier, he looks better.
Dr. Marty has thousands of 5-star reviews. And for a limited time, get up to 54% off Dr. Marty Nature's Blend, plus a free gift with our special TV offer. Call or go to drmartypets.com/TV. That's drmartypets.com/TV.
Do you suffer in pain? Are you stiff, tense, or less active than before? Introducing the EasyWell Remedy Massage System that combines the incredible effects of vibrational therapy, targeted deep tissue shiatsu massage, plus soothing infrared heat. A triple fusion of therapeutic experiences. Full body vibrational therapy increases blood circulation and reduces inflammation. Look at these beads moving from the powerful vibrational motors.
It's like 1,000 little fingers just vibrating my body from head to toe.
Infrared heat penetrates deep to reduce pain, soothe, and relax.
Remedy gets in there and helps deal with the source of the pain, so you feel much better.
The Ultra Shiatsu pillow with 6 infrared heated nodes mimics a professional massage. Plus, it's detachable for deep relief anywhere you need it.
It's just something that you're gonna have to feel for yourself.
Experience the true remedy for your pain and stiffness. Call now.
Hi, Chef Daniel Green here with Rice Robot, the 1, 2, 3 rice cooker. Watch, 1 add the white cup for rice, 2 add the blue cup for water, 3 click it and let Rice Robot perfectly cook it.
The secret is perfect cook technology for even cooking. Then Rice Robot senses when it's done, auto stops and keeps it warm to serve.
It won't burn, overcook or undercook, guaranteed.
Get the complete Rice Robot cooking system, all for just $39.99. Order now.
American military might.
Now you see him?
It's a beautiful thing.
Now you don't.
And we're back with Mark Ibrahim, who is a Jan 6er, but he's also a white supremacist, even though he's Cuban and Egyptian.
That's right.
I don't know how that works.
Was that the first time in your life that you'd ever been labeled a white supremacist?
First time in my life I've ever been labeled white.
I don't know, but you definitely have a unique background. And again, former DEA and on January 6th and not so much on January 7th. But Don had a question.
Yeah, I want to touch before we get into anything else on the FBI agents that were on the ground, on the Capitol grounds on J6, along with these informants. Because many, many, many of our J6ers that studied all this footage, that were there, they had access to the 47,000 hours. So they did nothing in D.C. but watch footage. Did you see any of these guys that were there wearing the 5'11 nightmare outfits, or were they dressed in MAGA gear?
No, I could see a lot of weird people that didn't really fit, colored hair, nose rings, ear piercings, facial piercings. And I saw them changing in the trees, and I thought that was weird to me. It was like, why are you going to be changing during a protest? But, what people need to understand is that there was no due process towards J6ers. That, like, I offered assistance to the FBI that day. The DOJ IG investigator interviewed them, realized it was asked them if Mark was a threat. They said, no, Mark assisted us. Mark helped us out. And threw that aside because it didn't fit their agenda. I found in the code section of the Capitol Police, it says all duly federally appointed agents are allowed to carry their guns. If I was to go into the Capitol building to turn in my weapon, to go visit the Capitol building, I'd be allowed to carry my weapon in the Capitol building as a federal agent. But if not, I would have to go turn it in. So I never went in the building. So how can I be charged for carrying a weapon? And then on top of that, my brother, who was carrying his weapon, is completely protected and shielded by the FBI because they did not want to show that there were FBI agents in the crowd. And they knew that if they arrested my brother would talk about all the other FBI agents, or he was assigned there working that day. I know that he was investigating J6ers after the case, and I know that in all the discovery that they gave me, they blacked out his face. And I'm hard-pressed to find anyone that's ever had a blacked-out face that was released by the DOJ at J6. They tried to shame and dox everybody there and make them look like we're a bunch of white supremacists, domestic terrorists, crazies, to just give them political capital to attack Donald Trump. But I'd say the greatest thing I learned through this whole thing is faith over fear. Fear is faith in the devil. Fear will make you kill yourself. Fear will make you have an abortion. Fear will make you steal. Faith is trusting in God. Fear is satanic worship. And that's something I learned through Pastor Rob McCoy, that to choose faith over fear and to cross a raging river when we get there. As a special agent who put a lot of cartel dudes in jail, prison would not be a fun place for me. And it wasn't for the time that I did serve when I was initially arrested. But I've really come to learn utter reliance on Jesus, and that he will see you through this. So I'd encourage anybody listening to this going through a hard time that just to put your hope and trust in the Lord, especially on this Easter weekend. And then I'm just really thankful for the people that came around me, patriots like yourselves who came up, who are not afraid of retribution, speaking the truth from day one. I have a good friend named Zach. He lives in Salina, Texas, and former Army Ranger and good friend of mine. He encouraged me. Pastor Rob, I would encourage anybody, if you know somebody going through a hard time, just to love on them, show them the love of Jesus, and encourage them that everything is temporary, but God is eternal, and he'll get you through this.
So many Gen 6ers are going through that.
Man.
It's just
and
disgusting.
A lot of J6ers killed themselves.
Yeah.
I would have technically taken a plea deal to let this go, but they added a terrorist enhancement. Me, as someone who's fought terrorism for many years of my life, I couldn't plead to being a terrorist. And they also wanted me to pay to fix the Capitol and something in the sum of $10,000 when I didn't destroy the Capitol. I'd gladly donate to the repairing the Capitol of our nation, but I'm not going to be charged to pay something when I wasn't even charged with destruction of property.
I can't believe you had the foresight to not go in the Capitol. because a lot of the Jan 6ers went into the Capitol just because the doors were open. You had the foresight not to do that, which is pretty amazing in and of itself. Now, did your brother come to your aid? Talk about that situation, because it doesn't seem like...
No, my brother didn't. My brother and I don't really talk, and he's now an SSA in DC with the FBI, and it's funny. It's just sad, but I lost a brother, but I gained a lot of other ones that are real, that love the Lord and are patriots. And it was just scary how the government and the media weaponized and said all J6ers are pariahs, when you can clearly see that we're just decent humans that love the Lord and are patriots and love our country. And and so it's just a tragic turn, but thank God to save the republic for the faithful few that are still here. And I pray that there are a lot of wrongs that can be righted. If anybody watching this is close to the current administration, I'd love my job back as a DEA agent. I was suspended 3 times for my role on J6. I had my clearance revoked for my role on J6, but I was fired for performance issue that dated back months and months and months ago. And they were trying to be cute and not fire me for being at J6 because they knew it was a violation of my First Amendment right. Mm-hmm. But there are just a lot of wrongs that need to be righted.
Mark, the bigger picture, I hate to say it, is your brother is still in the FBI. These people got to be cleaned out. That's really the biggest problem. And you're saying you didn't have due process, but MS-13, thanks to the recent SCOTUS ruling, they have to have due process, at least for the time being. It's just totally upside down what's going on. So as far as what we can do to help, again, folks, Give, Send, Go, Mark's Liberty. Talk about real quick, we got a couple minutes left, how you saw your informant friend that you went with suddenly show up with a mask and a Trump flag. So I didn't know this until years later reviewing the footage, but I did see him in the building wearing a mask and a MAGA flag around his head and shoulders to kind of block his silhouette. He came out to me and he said, "Mark, give me $100,000 or I'm going to send these photos to the FBI." So not only did he make money through Reuters, he tried to extort me. And I said, "Dude, I'm a federal agent. I don't know how you think this goes. I don't have $100,000 spare." But we were in Iraq together, and he was shot in the head and survived. And he was never the same. He kind of had like a childlike mentality. But it's sad that the FBI preys on these types of people. You see that with the attempted kidnapping of the governor of Michigan, that everybody involved was an informant or an agent, and the only body that wasn't was a sleeping pot, and the judge threw it out as he should have, and then the DOJ reprocessed to re-prosecute him. And so it's just sad. It's a system that was designed for careers and political moves. It's not a system pursuing justice. If anything, it's the Department of Injustice. And I'm praying that Kash Patel can fix that. Well, they protect themselves.
20 seconds. Do you have hope? Do you have hope with the Trump administration? You got about 15 seconds.
I do. I pray that if Trump keeps it going full bore for 4 years, and then we get J.D. Vance or someone similar to them for another 4 years, I know that there's going to be a recess back to the liberal squalor, but I believe that America will find itself and will return to God and return to righteousness. But we're in a high-speed wobble right now. God forbid we get Governor Newsom in the next 4 years.
Oh, yeah.
What is he going to do?
Can't even go there.
Yeah.
From your lips to God's ears, Mark Ibrahim, I'm hoping we can do Trump in 2028, but that's another story. Again, folks, the Give, Send, Go is Mark's Liberty. Please help if you can, and we'll be back with more Cowboy Logic right after this. Hey everybody, Donna Fiducia here to talk to you about Cowboy Logic Laser.com. And boy, do we have so many goodies. We have the glasses. Well, first of all, we have the highball glasses and your cocktail glasses, Cowboy Logic Laser.com. Or you have the carpenter pencils, which Don loves so much, and he shows them all the time on our show. And, well, it comes with a sharpener, too. CowboyLogicLaser.com. And you got coffee mugs. Anything you want, they can laser it on. Now, this one I'm not even going to open up because I almost chopped my finger off first time, but they do have a Cowboy Logic laser knife as well. Anything you want, CowboyLogicLaser.com, CowboyLogicLaser.com, promo code 1776, get you 10% off, folks. And the stuff is just really great. It supports the show, and we really do appreciate it. CowboyLogicLaser.com.
Don't you hate that dirty old hose? It kinks, splits, and it always leaks. And it's way too heavy to carry around. It's time to get the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead. Just turn on the water and watch it grow to a full-size hose. It stretches and expands like a rubber band. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the new Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees. Just connect to the spigot and watch it pivot. And when you turn off the water, away it goes, shrinking back to a pocket-size hose. And it makes it easy to carry and put away. Copperhead. It's the hose that grows and pivots, flexes, and sprays. It puts itself away for another day. The Pocket Hose is so unique and so innovative, it was awarded over 100 patents. Call or go online now to get the super light 25-foot Pocket Hose Copperhead today for only $39.99. But wait, order right now and you'll receive an instant $10 discount. So it's only $29.99. And it gets better. Order right now and get our copper spray nozzle with our exclusive thumb drive free. Simply use your thumb to turn it on or off. And with 10 unique patterns, you'll have a setting for every job. A $30 value. Yours free with every 50-foot Copperhead. Plus, Copperhead comes with a full 10-year warranty. It's that durable. That means you can order right now with total confidence. But this special offer is not available in stores or on Amazon. So order right here, right now. And with rising costs, this may be your last chance at this low price. There is a strict limit of 3 per order. So don't wait. Order now.
To order, call 1-800-957-6191 or visit getcopperhead.com. So call 1-800-957-6191 or visit getcopperhead.com. Order now.
Do you have stains in your carpet that won't come out? You need Horsepower Bullshot, the all-new hands-free carpet cleaner and deodorizer. Just spray, and the stain and odor go away. Got pet messes? This black light shows a urine stain is gone in just seconds. The advanced foam action formula penetrates deep to emulsify and neutralize stains and odors. It erases blood stains, makeup, juice, coffee, and more. For older and tougher stains, just give it a little rub and watch as Bullshot works its magic. Red wine spills? They're no problem for Bullshot. And watch up close as burnt bacon grease stains are obliterated right before your very eyes. Get Horsepower Bullshot for only $19.99. But wait, due to rising costs, this may be your last chance to get yours. And there's a strict limit of 3 at this low, low price. So don't wait. Order now.
Call 1-800-690-6127 or visit buybullshot.com. So call 1-800-690-6127 or visit buybullshot.com now.
party drummers in the Getter Barn parties are awesome. Donna's hitting my beaver with a stick. Hey, we're not going to do the shout-outs this week because we got to get right to business on this next interview, with the exception, of course, of
Dana.
Dana, we got to say Dana's name. Join us in the Getter Barn parties. We've got any place from 150 to almost 300,000 people each week that just watch just on Getter.
Mm-hmm.
That's unbelievable.
That doesn't count all the other
That's
platforms,
amazing.
and we certainly appreciate it. So our guest now is one Gregory Wrightstone, who has been on our show for, gosh, we had him back in 2018.
When we were doing radio.
Almost to the month. It was April of 2018, Greg. And you are the guy who has to counter Al Gore's stupid climate hoax. Your book, which we see in the back there over your shoulder, Inconvenient Facts, certainly was a bestseller. And your newest book, a very convenient warning, how modest warming and more CO2 are benefiting humanity. So let's start right off with that, because you have actual scientists that aren't paid by the government to really look at this stuff and be honest about CO2. We can't live without CO2, hence your CO2coalition.org is the organization you're working with.
Yeah, we're the preeminent scientific organization in the world that's made up of almost 200 highly qualified scientists, physicists, engineers, energy experts. And our goal, when I took over the CO2 Coalition in 2021, and I made it a point, we're going to stick with the science. We're going to try and stay out of the politics. We want to be we want to be the group that people can come to for real science about climate change and trust what we have to say. And we've done that, and we're being sought out. I can't say everybody, but there are the people in D.C. looking for us to provide the answers to them. For example, over at EPA, Lee Zeldin, they fired all of their science advisors in it was actually 2 days before he was sworn in, for the Science Advisory Board, for CASAC, which is the Clean Air Science Advisory Council. And we've put together, we called mostly out of our own organization. They're going to be accepting nominations probably next week or pretty soon to refill those boards. And I've put a list of 55 highly qualified experts together that we will be nominating for those positions. These are scientists that don't toe the company line on consensus science, that provide the actual facts about what's happening in our Earth. And we'll get into some of that in a little bit, what those facts are. But it's not nearly what you're being told every day. And so I'm really proud to lead this group. And one of the things, when I was last with you, my first book documented pretty clearly that there is no climate crisis, and there won't be a climate crisis going forward. In this new book and at the CO2 Coalition, we've evolved past that. And now what we're looking at is modest warming and more CO2 is leading. What's it leading to? By almost every metric we look at, Earth's ecosystems are thriving and prospering, and humanity is benefiting from modest warming and more CO2. I call this the greatest untold story of the 21st century, that of a thriving planet and an improvement of the human condition. These are things we should celebrate. Instead, we're silenced. But we have so much documentation. Probably the greatest benefit we're seeing is in vegetation, and that's reflected. If you look about growing vegetation, what does that mean for us? More crops, more crop production. We're able to feed a growing population. And in fact, crop productivity and crop production is outpacing population growth by a lot. And that's, again, what does warming temperatures? We're in a warming trend. We just are. It's been warming in fits and starts. What does that mean? It means we've got a longer growing season. In the continental United States, we've documented in my new book, A Very Convenient Warming, that the growing season in the continental United States has increased by more than 2 weeks. That's huge if you're a farmer. If you've got an apple orchard, what do you fear the most? A late spring killing frost.
But you know what, Greg? The left can't stand that. They really want depopulation. So to sit there and say we got to get rid of CO2, the person who doesn't know the inconvenient facts thinks, oh, this is great, let's get CO2. And they don't realize we're made of CO2. They're like saying, let's get rid of us. It's just the stupidity is outrageous, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is. And it's the elixir of life. Our unofficial motto here is we love CO2 and so should you. And I've got a bumper sticker in the back of my SUV. Yes, it's a gas guzzling SUV, by the way, because I'm contributing to that an increase of CO2 in the atmosphere by doing that. But it says, I heart CO2. And I haven't been keyed yet, but I'm not driving a Tesla either, nor will I. But it's really, and just one thing I got to tell you, Donna and Don, I just published a new book last week. You'll be surprised. You didn't know that. Oh. And it's my first illustrated children's book. And we have an educational series that we're now, our members, we're really concerned about the state of science education in the United States. They were concerned. They came to me. They said, our children and grandchildren are being indoctrinated into this climate cult. They're being taught groupthink and consensus science. They're not being taught the scientific method or critical thinking skills. And so we launched this new initiative. CO2learningcenter.com is the website, CO2learningcenter.com. We have our first series of books of 5 dealt with various scientific topics, and importantly, for the homeschooling parents out there, all 4 of my grandchildren are homeschooled, we provide lesson plans for each one of these books. For example, one is on photosynthesis. That one's called Simon the Solar-Powered Cat. And we have a lesson plan to go along with photosynthesis. We have another on the scientific method. And my latest book that I authored was just published. It's called Chloe the Clownfish Sleeps Well. And it tells the story of this clownfish named Chloe living on the Great Barrier Reef. And she went to school one day and they had a guest lecturer, Dr. Moray Eel, came in and explained how their homes and their families were in terrible, dire consequences and they were all going to die. And she couldn't sleep at night, and she was horrified. And we're able to use this wonderfully illustrated story to tell the truth about what's happening on the Great Barrier Reef. So I partner with Dr. Peter Ridd of Australia, who's awesome. One of the top experts on that. In fact, he was fired from James Cook University because he told the truth about the Great Barrier Reef, and they fired him.
I got to. Hey, Ron, go back to full screen on Gregory for a second for this comment. I tell you, it looks like that you not only walk the walk, but talk the talk in that picture that's over your right shoulder.
I assume that's your grandchild. There you go.
Yep.
Yeah,
Tell us about that.
That's actually Chloe.
Oh,
and
okay.
I'm not reading the book to her. This is our first book in the series. It's called The Miracle. Once Upon a Time, The Miracle Molecule, CO2. She, at 4 years old, she read that to me and only stumbled over 2 words: photosynthesis and veterinarian. And so she doesn't want to be read to. She reads.
Awesome.
And this latest book, Chloe the Clownfish, is a story of, I named the clownfish after her, and she's so proud of it because her Baba wrote a book about it.
There you go,
Chloe
man.
the Clownfish.
Hey,
Go, Baba.
When we got about a minute left in the segment. When we come back, I want to talk about the latest on the Paris Climate Accord because, we're in it with Biden. We're out of it with Trump, thank God. But I do have to one-up you as far as the truck. We have a 7.3 liter diesel.
2 of them.
2 of them. And on the back of it, I have a sticker that says, "Eat my carbon emissions." I think that one's a little more.
I need a picture of that. I'll put that up on our website.
Yeah, man.
I'll send it to you.
We run those 7.3 diesels. We're going to someday be buried in them.
Yes, I'm never getting rid of them. CO2coalition.org is how you find all of Gregory's great work. And again, he's got some great books. Children's books, that's awesome because this is where we have to kind of negate Bill Nye the Science Guy, who is not a science guy at all. And the fact that it's a very inconvenient truth that we're made of CO2, and without CO2, we ain't living. So it's CO2coalition.org. We'll be back with more with Gregory Wrightstone right after this on Cowboy Logic. Stay with us.
One thing, I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind and design this rhyme to explain it through time. All I know, time is a value.
Patriots Relief, your America First CBD company. We are Christian, conservative, and committed to helping you feel your best. Are you tired of chronic pain holding you back? It's time for a change. Experience the remarkable healing properties of CBD, expertly designed to alleviate pain and promote internal balance. Patriots Relief is here for you. Visit our website or call now. Use your promo code to unlock exclusive savings. Patriots Relief, helping you get out of pain and live life to the fullest.
It's time to add some extra steps to your day. Introducing Ellipse, the premium quality automatic seated exerciser that strengthens legs, increases mobility, and boosts circulation without physical strain or impact. It's the easiest exercise you will ever do.
Ellipse fits perfectly under my desk, and it is so quiet that none of my coworkers even know I'm using it.
Strengthen and tone your legs, increase your mobility, flexibility, and balance, plus stimulate healthy circulation.
Do you suffer in pain? Are you stiff and less flexible? Do you have trouble sleeping? Are you less active than you once were? Introducing the EasyWell Remedy Massage System that combines the incredible effects of vibrational therapy, targeted deep tissue shiatsu massage, plus soothing infrared heat. A triple fusion of therapeutic experiences delivering health-boosting treatments to your body. Full body vibrational therapy increases blood circulation, bringing relief to joints and muscles and reducing inflammation while supporting your overall mobility. Look at these beads moving from the powerful vibrational motors.
It's amazing. It's like 1,000 little fingers just vibrating my body from head to toe.
Infrared heat penetrates deep to relax and soothe your body, reducing joint pain and stiffness and increasing circulation.
Remedy gets in there and helps deal with the source of the pain, so you feel much better.
The Ultra Shiatsu pillow with 6 infrared heated nodes is designed to mimic a professional massage specialist's hand kneading and working tight muscles in just the right way to bring maximum relief and pleasure. It is even detachable, allowing you to get a deep tissue relief in your upper and lower back, neck and shoulders, feet, calves, or anywhere on your body.
I can't even describe to you the feeling. It's just something that you're gonna have to feel for yourself.
Call or go online now to receive the Remedy Massage System. Your system includes the Zero-G memory foam layer, the vibrational infrared and ultra shiatsu therapies, the removable shiatsu pillow, remote control, and a convenient carry bag free. Just one massage visit can cost almost $100, but you can own the Remedy Massage System and have as many therapeutic treatments as you want. The sooner you order, the sooner you can experience the true remedy for your pain, stiffness, and stress. Call now.
Are you having trouble hearing your TV or listening to conversations in loud spaces? Then it might be time to consider Nano hearing aids. Nanos are FDA-registered OTC hearing aids. Don't be fooled by overpriced hearing aids. Prescription hearing aids could cost $3,000 or more. Nano hearing aids are now offering $100 off through this special TV offer. Call now and get 2 CIC rechargeable hearing aids for only $297. And if you're not happy, return them for a full refund.
To last throughout the years. So bring your good time and your laughter too. We gon' celebrate and party with you. I want the best of both worlds. I know what it's worth. If we could have the best of both worlds, a little heaven right here on earth. Come on, I want the best of
Cowboy Logic. Don't you love those mashups? That's the Bill McClintock mashups.
Yeah, you can find him on YouTube.
Cool and the Gang as opposed to Global Cooling and the Gang. Because that's kind of what we're talking about right now with Gregory Wrightstone. Again, CO2coalition.org. And I just don't, remember how they talked about the Alaskan pipeline, how horrible it was. Meanwhile, caribou and elk and all the animals were thriving because they could live underneath that pipeline in the wintertime and be able to graze a little better. It just makes no sense to me unless you hate people and you want to depopulate like Bill Gates does. So let's get rid of CO2 and kill everybody off. And what really was funny is we've had people on from California who talk about how you have to, stay in line with the Paris Climate Accord. This is when we were actually trying to abide by it. So we don't have any pollution, whereas China, it was all voluntary. They're not even going to do it, I don't think. They build a new coal-fired plant every week to 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and all their pollution was blowing over the Pacific right into San Francisco. And there's just no common sense in this whole thing, Greg,
Well, it isn't. They want, it's by design. You have to give them some credit, President Xi in China, because he wants to cripple us. If we adopt this net zero campaign, it would be economically crippling for us. And he's mouthing the words that he's going to go to net zero too, except it was 2050 and now it's going to be 2075. And it'll never occur. Both President Xi in China, and Prime Minister Modi in India, both know, and bear in mind, they're both those countries are going great guns with mining more coal, burning more coal, doing everything they can to get as much electricity as they can. They understand what you need to generate electricity. The 3 words: reliable, abundant, and affordable. Reliable, abundant, and affordable. Solar and wind are nothing like that. And we're going to be limiting our economic system by trying to rely on intermittent energy you can't rely on. What can we rely on? Nuclear. Hydroelectric is good, but I don't think there'll be another hydroelectric dam ever built in the United States. But there's coal-fired electricity and natural gas-fired electricity. Those are all affordable, abundant, and reliable. If we continue to go down the route that we did under the Biden administration, we were looking at brownouts and blackouts. All that has changed. In February, Donald Trump issued an executive order telling all of his agencies, Department of Energy, EPA, Transportation, Sean Duffy, Interior now, that they needed to look at all their regulations that were imposed unlawfully, and they had 60 days to either rescind them or give him a one-page summary why they didn't. And that 60 days is up next week. Next week's gonna be really interesting. And he issued another memorandum last Wednesday stating, basically reminding the agency heads, Zeldin, Chris Wright at Energy, and others, hey, that 60 days is up next week. And I expect you to be, and he said, I want these rescinded immediately. And our senior legal advisors believes strongly are going to use this, what is called an interim rulemaking authority, that they'll be able to do this immediately. Instead of just saying, we're going to do this, and then we have a 9-month or year and a half comment period, and then we make a decision. He believes with this, under this authority, they can do that and either repeal them immediately or within 30 days. Awesome. And what does that mean? And I'm going to tell you, you're going to go, what? When I tell you this, but just bear with me. I am proudly pro-choice. I am really, really pro-choice. And by that, I mean, I want to give you the choice of what kind of vehicle to drive. You should have the choice of what kind of washing machine, dryer, dishwasher, what kind of ceiling fan. They've been systematically stripping your viewers of their liberties to choose. And what we're going to do now, we're going to see a rolling back of that. If just think about this. If I want to buy a dishwasher, Donna, I know Don's, he takes care of the dishes, but if you all want to buy a dishwasher, you should have the choice to buy a dishwasher like you used to be able to, that could wash your dishes in less than 40 minutes, effectively, cleanly. Our new dishwasher, it's almost 3 hours from the time
I was just going to say it. Clothes washer, forget it.
Yeah.
And you can't add things. They got to, have this computer that figures out how heavy your clothes are. It takes frickin' forever. Drives me nuts.
Exactly.
You got to flush twice half the time, so using twice the water.
And I just got to ask myself, but why? But why?
Exactly.
Because it's a one size fits all environmental restriction. Just think about your showers. My wife and I moved into a new. I'm residing south of Tampa here. We moved into our place and got a new shower head. Well, that water just dribbled out.
Yeah.
It was, if you forgive me, it was like an old man peeing.
I was going to say, it's like a dog peeing on you.
All right, so, all right.
And so my son-in-law knocked out the 3 flow restrictors. That water now comes out like Niagara Falls.
And Trump is even talking about that. All right, recent New York Post article on April 10th, actually, of 2025 on how offshore windmills are killing all the whales. I'm from New Jersey. My friend who lives on the coast is saying these whales have washed up maybe once in a while. Now it's almost all the time. Talk a little bit about that, because that, we're screwing everything up when I thought we were supposed to save the whales.
Yeah, it's some of these environmental groups, or that used to be environmental groups, aren't so environmental anymore. These whales, what did Greenpeace cut their teeth on? It was you remember the boats that they would sail out in front of the whaling ships. We're going to stop the whaling, and they cut way back and stopped a lot of that. But now they're doing putting these facilities, these huge wind turbines along the East Coast, where the endangered right whale, right in the path of their migration, humpback whales. There are all sorts of whales, and I believe there's been a 4 or 5-fold increase in whale deaths since they started this process of, first it was the seismic activity to plot the shore, and then they have to use pile drivers to pile drive the material into the ocean floor. And of course, these whales can be, they're relying on sonar, and they can be their sonar in their ears can be easily damaged. So, and the other thing too, think about it. The UN had a report on extinctions and endangered species. I disagreed with a lot in the report, but there was one part of it that I did agree with strongly. The greatest threat to endangered species, what is it? Loss of habitat. Mm-hmm. What's their solution to solve a non-existent climate crisis? Destroy more habitat.
Destroy the habitat.
They want to pave over thousands of square miles with solar panels, cut down mature trees and forests to put up wind turbines. And don't you dare call them wind farms or solar farms. There's nothing farm-like about these things. These are industrial scale facilities.
And they don't last. They don't last. You get a hailstorm, they're all gone. Here in Georgia, where we are, Greg, they start putting these huge telephone poles up. They're metal. And I'm like, gee, why is that? Well, they closed a coal-fired plant, so they have to pull the energy from farther away. So they need these bigger telephone poles that are really ugly to look at. We've only got about a minute left. Quickly show us your Chloe Kids book. Tell us about the kids book. And again, folks, go to co2coalition.org. There's Chloe, the clownfish. The kids can actually learn the right stuff, the right stone stuff, I should say, about CO2 and climate.
And get this into homeschooling, guys.
We have a Brazilian,
get it into homeschooling.
Illustrator. This is another example of the art we've got in there. They're scared. You can see they're scared to death.
Looks like
what they were told at school. And that's what we're trying to do, is use a wonderfully illustrated book that draws the kids in and tells them the truth about what's actually happening. Mm-hmm. There is a real thing called climate anxiety among our children, because they're being lied to.
Hey, Greg,
about a
unfortunately, we got to leave it
We got a heart out, brother.
CO2coalition.org. Thank you, Gregory Wrightstone, so much. We'll be back right after this. everybody, Donna Fiducia, Cowboy Logic, here to talk about MyPillow and My Store. Mike Lindell has such great products, and if you use the promo code 1776, you get additional discounts. First of all, the MyPillow dog beds. They come in 3 different sizes. We get the big-ass ones because we got big-ass mutts, that's for sure, big-ass rescue dogs, and they're even reversible, which is great, and washable. Machine washable. Then you've got the coffee. Comes in many different flavors. My coffee is awesome. We've got the decaf, we've got the regular, we've got the dark roast. You just can't beat it. MyPillow and My Store, promo code 1776, supports Cowboy Logic and certainly supports Mike Lindell. And of course, you can't not talk about MyPillow. MyPillow 2.0 is out there right now, and Mike Lindell has great specials with that. Again, it's MyPillow and My Store. Promo code 1776 supports the show and Mike Lindell.
Don't you hate that dirty old hose? It kinks, splits, and it always leaks. And it's way too heavy to carry around. It's time to get the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead. Just turn on the water and watch it grow to a full-size hose. It stretches and expands like a rubber band. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the new Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees. Just connect to the spigot and watch it pivot. And when you turn off the water, away it goes, shrinking back to a pocket-size hose. And it makes it easy to carry and put away. Copperhead. It's the hose that grows and pivots, flexes, and sprays. It puts itself away for another day. The Pocket Hose is so unique and so innovative, it was awarded over 100 patents. Call or go online now to get the super light 25-foot Pocket Hose Copperhead today for only $39.99. But wait, order right now and you'll receive an instant $10 discount. So it's only $29.99. And it gets better. Order right now and get our copper spray nozzle with our exclusive thumb drive free. Simply use your thumb to turn it on or off. And with 10 unique patterns, you'll have a setting for every job. A $30 value. Yours free with every 50-foot Copperhead. Plus, Copperhead comes with a full 10-year warranty. It's that durable. That means you can order right now with total confidence. But this special offer is not available in stores or on Amazon. So order right here, right now. And with rising costs, this may be your last chance at this low price. There is a strict limit of 3 per order. So don't wait. Order now.
To order, call 1-800-957-6191 or visit getcopperhead.com. So call 1-800-957-6191 or visit getcopperhead.com. Order now.
Cooking rice just isn't nice.
Hi, Chef Daniel Green here with Rice Robot, the 1, 2, 3 rice cooker. Watch, 1 add the white cup for rice, 2 add the blue cup for water, 3 click it and let Rice Robot perfectly cook it.
The secret is perfect cook technology that surrounds the rice with controlled heat for even cooking. Then Rice Robot senses when it's done, auto stops, and keeps it warm to serve.
It won't burn, overcook, or undercook, guaranteed.
And rice is just the beginning. Make mac and cheese, frittatas, oatmeals, soups and stews, even ramen dishes. And with a ceramic, ultra non-stick interior, cleanup's a breeze.
Get the complete Rice Robot cooking system with the steamer tray and 1-2-3 recipe guide, all for just $39.99. It comes with a 90-day money-back guarantee. We'll even ship your entire order free. Order now.
1-800-575-5956.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Cowboy Logic. Covering J6 for the past 3+ years like nobody else, at least at a national level. I can tell you that. We got we kind of got a cool thing going on here because we're going to bring in a good J6 brother of ours, Pete Schwartz. And Pete was one of the first interviews that we did, if not the first.
I think he was the first.
From the D.C. Gulag. And Pete, it's been a long haul, and over these 3+ years that we've known you and been talking with you. After you left D.C., you ended up going into the Bureau of Prisons. You received the pardon, but you've got a real unique story. And by the way, you see this guy sitting next to Pete there. That's Ryan Nichols, another one of our J6 brothers. They to let you know what they've been doing, and they'll expand on this. These two guys, they get out of one storm, the BOP, and they get right back in another one because they're out in Texas, moving into West Texas, chasing storms right now because they're doing disaster relief and emergency relief and things like that, which is exactly the stuff that Ryan did before he went into prison.
Yep.
And so it's good to see you guys picking up the humanitarian causes that you guys were doing before you got locked up. But Pete, this is our first opportunity to welcome you back to freedom, man, on the air with Cowboy Logic. Welcome home, buddy. Welcome home, man.
Thank you. It's great to be back. One of the things there, a lot of things are obviously different after doing such a extended amount of time. I was in there for 4 years, and so like a lot of when I come out, my mentality's different. I've been through a lot. It has been a lot of years. I mean, it's been 4, but it feels like 40. And so that's why sometimes I need to connect to other January 6ers like Ryan here. And we can relate to each other in a way that I can't relate to normal people anymore. I mean, we've been through so much. We've seen so much. And there's no way you can really explain to somebody else. I mean, you can kind of, but nobody can fully understand what we've really been through. And I mean, it's been severe. And, as men, we try to pretend that it wasn't that severe because we're tough and we can take it. We can take whatever and roll with the punches. But sometimes you see the signs of it, just like in normal conversations. And a lot of my friends reach out to me and stuff like that. I've had some good friends that, I was friends with long before January 6th, and they've been very supportive. I really appreciate that, but sometimes I just withdraw and I feel like I'm being unfair to them, you know what I mean? And there's just a lot of changes. It's post-traumatic stress syndrome, and a lot of us are going through it, a lot of us Gen 6ers, and so that's just some way that we can relate. And so right now, Ryan and I are connecting, and we feel like really the best way we can try to find our purpose and stuff is try to do something useful and helpful for somebody else, you know what I mean? Because we know what it's like to suffer. People helped us, and if we can do that and give a little back, then that's really kind of what we're trying to do right now. That's what we're doing. We're headed down to Abilene, Texas, and there's going to be a lot of storms down there, and we're going to try to give back a little bit if we can,
Well, it's awesome that you're doing that. Would you do me a favor and expand a little bit on something that you said that we have heard numerous times from our inner circle of J6ers, and that is you withdraw. Mm-hmm. You might be hanging out with your friends or any of your loved ones, and all of a sudden it's like you're just kind of emotionless, and now it's time to withdraw a little bit. Explain that so that, and do your best to explain it so our viewers can understand that.
We can't relate to it.
Well, it's, I would say, I made the comment when I was getting out of prison that I would recognize somebody. I went to the maximum security penitentiaries, and they are incredibly violent. And even when there's no violence going on, the tension, because it's about to happen at any given second. So people have a way, and you learn to adapt, that you speak with no emotion, because somebody will misread that and, maybe chuckling at some comment or something like that may end up getting you stabbed right then and there on the spot. And so like people, they become emotionless in a way, you know what I mean? And so now, even when I'm out, of course, I've adjusted quite a bit. I've been out for 2.5 months now, and I'm doing a lot better. But there's still these times when my friends are saying something and they're trying to, just make a little joke or something like that. And I find myself just thinking to myself, that's funny. And I realized I haven't even laughed. I've just stayed stone-faced the whole time, And
because if you had heard that in prison, you couldn't react, essentially.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Or might have had to react in a negative way.
Right.
We
Because,
can't
you know,
relate
TV
to that. We just can't relate to that. You were in the hole for like 6 weeks when we first spoke with you. Talk about that and then to go into a maximum security. 6 months.
Yeah.
Jeez, I had weeks on my notes. I'm like, that's even worse. Gosh.
6 weeks is bad, believe me. 6 months is worse.
Oh, I can imagine.
But, yeah. I mean, honestly, this is going to sound strange, but it's sometimes with the chaos of prison, sometimes the hole is like peaceful, to be honest. You know, I mean, it does get lonely. You do lose yourself in your head there. You start having unrealistic thoughts. You know what I mean? You do start to lose touch with reality, but you're also not right there in the melee. That's the constant danger and everything too. So, I mean, there's an upside to it and a downside to it. And when I went to maximum security, I had no idea what to expect. I mean, people tell me this and tell me that, and it's all bad, you know, and they're sending me up to Canaan. And like when I was at the transfer station and they're saying, well, this is where you're going, this is where you're going. And they get to me and they're like, you're going to Canaan. And like even all the hardcore prisoners they gasp. They're like, oh, that's where they just stabbed that officer 100 times and stuff like that. And I had no idea what I was walking into, but by the grace of God, and I kept my wits about me, I kept my faith, and somehow or other, I survived, and here I am today, you know, and it's a rough place.
We got about 3 minutes. I want you to take, before we got to go to break, we're going to have Pete back on the other side, but Pete, so the viewers that have never gotten anything more than a parking ticket can somehow understand what the hell you're talking about with regard to the difference, say, between D.C. and a maximum security federal prison. Give us some bullet points of what the difference is.
Well, I would say that the main differences is that, number one, when I'm in the penitentiary, the penitentiaries I was at, which are maximum, 60% of the people in there have at least one life sentence. So, and most of them have more than that. So it's a whole different mentality. These people don't have any consequences to pay. The federal system doesn't have the death penalty. So they're able to do whatever they want. And in jail, a lot of people are coming in. You have a mix of all different characters. I mean, of the worst to the best, you know, I mean, it's a lot more mixed crowd, but by the time you hit the penitentiary, there's a prison set of rules. And so a lot of the violence is actually mandatory by the prison standards and stuff. So it is expected. And so there's no options. You know what I mean? There's not options to get in with a crowd that's not going to be violent or this or that, because that's not an option in the penitentiary. Whereas in jail, like when we were in C2B, we were around other January 6ers, and there is the option, you know, for people to talk things out. And in the penitentiary, that's not an option. That's a sign of weakness, and then you become the prey, and then you're the next victim.
You know,
there's some pretty hard, fast rules.
We totally had no idea. I mean, I thought minimum, or, you know, it was what I'm hearing, it was hard enough as it is. To be maximum is just, like you say, totally, if you've got nothing to lose, as so many people in there have, that you just, I would essentially think that, like you say, to go in the hole actually would be better because you're safer.
I want you to hold that thought, Pete, because I know you want to respond to that, but we've got less than a minute, and I want to touch on something that our viewers can do on the break. Ladies and gentlemen, you've seen this crawl running across the top of your screen, and that's got Pete's social media handle on X, and it's also got his Give, Send, Go account, J6Pete. Very simple to remember. These guys have gone from when we last had Pete on to helping him raise money for commissary and legal fees, now to rebuilding his life because he had everything stripped from him. Think about it. 4 years away from your home. What happens to your home?
Yeah.
Poof. It goes away. So do me a favor. Hit that Give, Send, Go. Help Pete rebuild his life. And when we get back from this break, we're going to talk to Pete and Ryan a little bit more about what's going on. We'll be right back.
stay so fresh after 4 years of prison soap?
Man, it was tough, but I tell you what, the people from Sugar Creek Goods have really hooked me up.
Oh.
I prefer the Indiana sweet corn myself.
Yeah?
But for you, since to get this whole smell off you,
Yeah?
I'm going to recommend the Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, Romeo and Juliet.
Yes, it's very good.
Yeah.
And if you order from them, you can get the Cowboy Logic collection. And the donations go to January 6 defendants. And at the same time, you can use promo code 1776 and save yourself a little bit of money. And that includes something for the ladies. The body butter. Sugar Creek Goods. Whatever you need, it's just right for that time. You'll smell fresh and good. Even the horses love it.
Wounded Warrior Project empowers post 9/11 veterans and their families with life-changing programs and services.
I realized I could be successful in a civilian career.
We stand by warriors and advocate for their needs going forward.
They were by my side in the hospital, and they're still with me today.
Through our programs, community, and advocacy, we're proving
anything is possible.
Learn more at woundedwarriorproject.org/connect.
When surprise breakdowns happen, American Home Shield will be there to fix or replace parts of the systems and appliances you rely on every day. They help protect your time and money by connecting you with qualified pros and helping pay for covered repairs or replacements. AHS offers flexible and affordable plans for every home. Sign up today and get 50% off. Visit ahs.com or call 833-PLAN-AHS for this limited time offer.
Do you suffer in pain? Are you stiff and less flexible? Do you have trouble sleeping? Are you less active than you once were? Introducing the Easy Well Remedy Massage System that combines the incredible effects of vibrational therapy, targeted deep tissue shiatsu massage, plus soothing infrared heat. A triple fusion of therapeutic experiences delivering health-boosting treatments to your body. Full body vibrational therapy increases blood circulation, bringing relief to joints and muscles and reducing inflammation while supporting your overall mobility. Look at these beads moving from the powerful vibrational motors.
It's amazing. It's like 1,000 little fingers just vibrating my body from head to toe.
Infrared heat penetrates deep to relax and soothe your body, reducing joint pain and stiffness and increasing circulation.
Remedy gets in there and helps deal with the source of the pain, so you feel much better.
The Ultra Shiatsu pillow with 6 infrared heated nodes is designed to mimic a professional massage specialist's hand kneading and working tight muscles in just the right way to bring maximum relief and pleasure. It is even detachable, allowing you to get a deep tissue relief in your upper and lower back, neck and shoulders, feet, calves, or anywhere on your body.
I can't even describe to you the feeling. It's just something that you're gonna have to feel for yourself.
Call or go online now to receive the Remedy Massage System. Your system includes the Zero-G memory foam layer, the vibrational infrared and ultra shiatsu therapies, the removable shiatsu pillow, remote control, and a convenient carry bag free. Just one massage visit can cost almost $100, but you can own the Remedy Massage System and have as many therapeutic treatments as you want. The sooner you order, the sooner you can experience the true remedy for your pain, stiffness, and stress. Call now.
'Cause I'm an outlaw in the USA. I bleed red, white, and blue every single day. And I'll be damned if I'm gonna let you take my freedom away. I'm gonna live my life by the Constitution. Gonna stand right up and join the revolution. Wanna sing it so loud you can hear me coming miles away. Yeah, 'cause I'm an outlaw in the USA. Yeah. And I was born here, and I plan to stay. Yeah, 'cause I'm an outlaw in the USA.
right, welcome back.
Great song.
Hey, Tom Kaz, what you guys think of that? Outlaw in the USA. And I know anybody that's a MAGA supporter, a U.S. patriot, probably feels and has definitely felt over the past 4 years that you've been an outlaw in the USA.
One of them being General Flynn, and he's the one who posted that, which
Yep.
caught my attention.
At any rate, we got a couple of outlaws in the USA that have joined us here. A couple of J6ers. We got Pete Schwartz there on the left, and we got brother Ryan Nichols on the right. And these two guys are sitting in a truck driving around they're headed to West Texas right now, where they are going to chase storms and lasso tornadoes and bring everything under control, as well as do a lot of disaster relief work, which is something that we are finding that J6ers feel the need to serve. There's a lot missing in their lives. There's a lot of purpose that was stripped from them. Their dignity, quite frankly, was stripped from them over 4 years. And this is a way that these two guys are helping rebuild that and rebuild their emotional outlook on life, quite frankly. Before we went to break, though, we were talking about some of the differences, say, between the D.C. jail and a maximum security prison. And, Pete, I want to let you continue what you were talking about, okay?
Right. Well, the D.C. jail, I mean, looking back on it, of course, being in jail is never a good situation for anybody. I mean, you're away from your family, you're away from your home, you're away from your ability to make money and to live. You can't go to church, you can't do anything. So, I mean, that's bad in and of itself. But once you get to the maximum penitentiaries like I was at, that's a whole different level. So the only custody level higher than where I was at is called the ADX. And the ADX is long-term solitary confinement, and it's reserved only for people that like killed their cellmates or killed one of the officers or something like that. And then they'll go to the ADX, be in a cell by themselves with a little TV in it for 5 to possibly 15 years, depending on the severity of what they did and the politics of it, of course. And so then when they return these people back and they've been alone for so long, and they haven't had to deal with all the violence of the prison and the stabbings and the politics and everything that goes on inside the penitentiary, a lot of these people that they're older now, they can't deal with it. And so some of these people, they already have multiple life sentences and they just want to go back to the ADX. So they're looking for random people that they can kill to get back into the ADX. And so this is an extreme level of dangerousness, because they're not looking for somebody that did them wrong. You could be the politest person. They're looking for somebody that they can just victimize because they don't care. They have nothing to lose. You know what I mean? And this is like a type of mentality that nobody no emotion. Nobody on the outside is going to understand this because I don't even fully understand it. And I've lived around it for 4 years now, you know? So it's mind boggling to me how people can, and some of these people are monsters, you know? I mean, a lot of inmates get sympathy because they are inmates, and I agree. There's a very large percentage of the population that doesn't belong there. Like a lot of the people dropped into these penitentiaries, some of them are just not fighters. Some of them there on maybe white-collar crimes or low-level drug offenses, and they end up in these penitentiaries, and it's terrible for them. But there's some people in there who are actual monsters and who are not fit for society. So, I mean...
Like Ross Ulbricht, he should have never been over there.
Yeah, say that again, Ryan. Lean into us and say that again.
Like Ross Ulbricht, who was pardoned by President Trump as well, he should have never been over at the pen in Florence. He was at the Florence pen, and like this guy was convicted of Silk Road at the pen.
Yeah. Well, I know Luke Denny was in that Florence medium security, but because it was a supermax, you know, he was penalized with lockdowns throughout his entire time there. He's locked down more than he wasn't.
Mediums are bad enough. Max is it's just outrageous.
There was something that you guys want to talk about, and I want to give you the opportunity for a couple of minutes. Re-entry. You know, on January 20th, you guys were pardoned. You came out. You were expected to come out normal and rebuild. And that doesn't happen. So you guys both want to get into this a little bit, because our viewers need to understand the struggle that you're going through right now, because on the surface it looks all rosy. Hey, J6ers are getting back together. They're rebuilding their lives. This is a mountain to have to climb.
Absolutely. And in my particular case, my case was reversed and remanded by the appellate court 3 days before the pardons. And because I was unaware of that, the pardons came and I signed the pardon because I was unaware that I had my case overturned. And so I kind of got that lost in the shuffle too, which I feel is highly unfair to me, because one of the things that I've said this all along is that I didn't want pardoned and forgiven for something I didn't do. I wanted exonerated. And I actually ended up getting that, but now it's been lost in the shuffle. And it seems like nobody in the news has taken any interest in this, which I think should have been huge news. I mean, I feel like that should have been on every mainstream media channel, but they had staged it, and they said, like, in my appeals, they do the briefs on paper and then they go to oral arguments. They held my appeals all the way and held the oral arguments until exactly 1 week after the election, because they didn't want that coming out. And then they held the actual decision after the oral arguments until 3 days before the pardons. And there's no way this is a coincidence, But now we're just dropped out into the world. We're, trying to blend. And we're, first off, on top of coming out of prison, which is definitely traumatic, I don't recognize this world. Every time I go into the store and try to buy a small item, I'm shocked by the price of it, And I mean, life is different. Everybody has different attitudes. I mean, there's this. Everybody has turned political at this point. You know what I mean? I hear, like, from some of my friends that even they have kids in high school and stuff, and the kids have to, before they'll date somebody, they have to know what their politics are. And this is just something that I guess I think it's good, but it's a different world than I left. I mean, everything has changed, and definitely life is expensive, and lost everything. I'm trying to figure myself out. At this point, I kind of feel like a plastic bag blowing in the wind, and so that's kind of why we're trying to do things that we can to give ourselves a purpose and to give back a little. We've suffered, people helped us. And so if there's any way that we can give something back and maybe help somebody else, then we can start reestablishing a purpose in life and do something positive. And did you have anything you wanted to add?
Yeah, Ryan, I can give you about 30 seconds. Lean into us so we can definitely hear you.
That's all I need right there. That's 0.9 more than I need. So this cop over here, when he came as police officer, I noticed myself, it was scary to me to even get up and go approach him and talk to him. And so even normal everyday interactions that used to be normal to me, that's just what I did. I went and reacted with first responders. It scares me to do that now. And so I've got to relearn to do everything. And so it's like a kid learning how to walk again. That's all I can say. It's like a kid learning how to walk.
It's disgusting.
That's a true statement.
J6 Pete is the Give, Send, Go. J6 Pete, folks, if you can, please help out. And at J6 Pete Schwartz on social media. Give him a follow.
Yep.
Please support him.
Ryan, give us your very quickly.
Right, this man helped me out in the D.C. jail and prepared me for prison. Without people like Pete, I would not have been prepared for prison, and more Jan Sixers would have been killed in prison had it not been for people like Pete.
God bless
preparing us to get ready to go to these places. So
thank
you, Pete, for everything.
We got 10 seconds. Absolutely. I need you guys to stay with us. Hands over your heart, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to the most beautiful national anthem ever sung. Thank you for trusting us with 2 hours of your time. We love you too, guys. We'll see you next week.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watch, words of gallantly streaming.
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Don't you hate that dirty old hose? It kinks, splits, and it always leaks. And it's way too heavy to carry around. It's time to get the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead. Just turn on the water and watch it grow to a full-size hose. It stretches and expands like a rubber band. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the new Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees. Just connect to the spigot and watch it pivot. And when you turn off the water, away it goes, shrinking back to a pocket-size hose. And it makes it easy to carry and put away. Copperhead. It's the hose that grows and pivots, flexes, and sprays. It puts itself away for another day. The Pocket Hose is so unique and so innovative, it was awarded over 100 patents. Call or go online now to get the super light 25-foot Pocket Hose Copperhead today for only $39.99. But wait, order right now and you'll receive an instant $10 discount. So it's only $29.99. And it gets better. Order right now and get our copper spray nozzle with our exclusive thumb drive free. Simply use your thumb to turn it on or off. And with 10 unique patterns, you'll have a setting for every job. A $30 value. Yours free with every 50-foot Copperhead. Plus, Copperhead comes with a full 10-year warranty. It's that durable. That means you can order right